Hey YouTube, Kiratweak here, bringing you all an update to my Red Eyes Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for March 2024. Wanted to update the Red Eyes deck, changed a couple cards around, and I would say it was a significant change that, entitled me to make a new update to the deck, changing some of the ratios, mainly for a lot of the main deck monsters and the spell lineup. I would say the extra deck has remained relatively the same. It doesn't really change much unless we get new support for it, but still, I've been finding the newer numbers to be a lot better with the deck, so I figured an update was due. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. For our main go-to boss monster, obviously Red Eyes Black Dragon is our go-to, being able to easily be summoned out from the deck, whether with Blackstone of Legend, set up with cards like Red Eyes Insight, or even just going right into it with our Red Eyes Fusion. We have plenty of resources available to us in the form of all the different monsters and spells to set up Red Eyes Black Dragon in the graveyard for us to use. So we want 3 of just so we have plenty to either special summon back or use for our fusion resource. For the other normal monsters, I run 1 copy of Summon Skull and the 1 Dark Magician. This is so we can also utilize cards like Archfiend Black Skull Dragon and Red Eyes Dark Dragoon in the deck as well, as 2 powerhouse boss monsters that can either have an Omni Negate or even burn damage significantly against our opponent using those 2 fusions. For the 3 ofs for our main deck effect monsters, I run 3 copies of the Blackstone of Legend. You contribute it to special summon a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck. If this card's in your graveyard, you can target 1 level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, shuffle into the deck. If you do, add this card to your hand. So whether you have the special summon power or recycling Blackstone of Legend back to have an add back power, you have plenty of resources in the form of this level 1 monster, which can also be used in turn for more of our setup for other cards in the deck as well. Like one of the other 3 ofs being the Black Metal Dragon, which we run 3 copies of as well. You can target a Red Eyes monster you control, equip this monster from your hand or field to it. It gains 600 attack, and if this card's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand. So the big play also comes down to the fact that you can add cards like Red Eyes Insight or Red Eyes Fusion off of the send if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, using this card as just that additional resource equipped to the monster, one of the best ones being the Red Eyes Slash Dragon, because then after you send it off of Red Eyes Slash Dragon, you have a search along with the also initial protection effect of that fusion monster to begin with. And the other 3 ofs, 3 copies of Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon. With this card, you can send 1 level 5 or higher normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand, then increase this card's level by 1, and during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to add 1 Red Eyes Fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effect of Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon once per turn. You can send 1 level 5 or higher normal monster, so this can be the special summon option of this card. Increasing its level also gives you a level 7 monster, if need be, to then go into some rank 7 Xyz plays. We can get another level 7 monster special summon on the field, and then while it's in the graveyard, you have a banish play to search out 1 of the best spells in the deck. So it's a definite 3 of just having this easy special summon resource. Sending them from the hand or deck can set up the other Red Eyes monsters in the graveyard for us, even just to special summon back onto the field as a resource to use with Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon, along with some of the other setup in the deck. This card being a level 6 dragon monster can also help with summoning out our Meteor Black Comet Dragon, needing a level 7 Red Eyes monster and a level 6 dragon monster, which Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon in the deck also fits the requirement for this card for that specification. So definitely another 3 of, just so we can replace other cards in the deck like Meteor Dragon Red Eyes Impact, being a Gemini monster that doesn't really help as much for the speed and consistency of the deck to begin with. And lastly, for the other monsters in the main deck, we're running some lower numbers for the remainder, but 2 copies of Nocto Vision Dragon. When your opponent activates a card effect that targets a face-down card you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard to negate that effect. And if a Dark Dragon monster is special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. So, with this card, needing a Dark Dragon monster special summon to your field, you can special summon out your Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon, have Nocto Vision in your hand, and that could be the level 7 monster as well, to special summon out on the field to go for your rank 7 play. And if you use it for a link material, you can draw a card, which we do have some other link monsters in the deck as well to go into for utilizing either play we want with Nocto Vision Dragon. Also 2 copies of Gearfried, the Red Eyes Iron Knight. With this card, if a player equips a card to it, you can destroy those equipped cards, and then you can destroy one spell or trap your opponent controls, and you can send an equipped card you control that is equipped to this card to the graveyard to target a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So this can also be used for being able to target a Red Eyes monster, which Gearfried is, using our Black Metal Dragon for the equip destruction, and then search that Metal Dragon can also provide using this card. And we run 2 of it because we are running 2 copies of Red Eyes Slash Dragons to have 2 sends off of the cards needed to go for with Red Eyes Fusion. Also 2 copies of Red Eyes Baby Dragon. Consider this just a small tech of mine. I do like the special summon power. It is a little slow of a play to rely on, so if you didn't want to run Red Eyes Baby Dragon, you can always bump up the Noctovision Dragon to a 3 of count, and also potentially go for 1 more additional copy of one of the spells or traps in our lineup, maybe a 2nd copy of Return of the Dragon Lords if you didn't want to run this monster. And then for the one-ofs, 1 copy of Red Eyes Soul and 1 Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. I was debating between Alternative Black Dragon and Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. That could be another swap, potentially, for Red Eyes Baby Dragon, if you wish as well. But Red Eyes Soul having a once per duel card effect is why we're also just running the one-of for its burn damage, and then just another reveal and special summon monster option with our Alternative Black Dragon. For the spells, we run 3 copies of Red Eyes Insight. Just another great searcher, sending a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard to add 1 Red Eyes spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which you can use this to send and then also set up cards like our Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon in the graveyard to then have a banish on the following turn, but still be able to search out a Red Eyes Fusion during this turn with this card. Speaking of Red Eyes Fusion, 3 copies of this spell as well. This card can just be your one go-to play. It does restrict you for summoning for the rest of the turn, but you can still set monsters thanks to this card. Summoning out your big boss monster, setting a Black Metal Dragon or a Red Eyes Baby Dragon is one of the more ideal plays to use with this card as well, while still being able to get out cards like Red Eyes Black Dragoon or Red Eyes Slash Dragon. Whatever you want, you can meet the fusion requirements pretty easily for the majority of our fusion monsters in this deck by sending those resources to the graveyard. Also 2 copies of Dragon Shrine. This can help to recycle cards or even set up cards in our graveyard to use for the banish and add back play. Also, if we open up any of our level 7 Red Eyes monsters in our hand, 2 cards of the Redstone for draw power, then being able to send an additional level 7 monster from our deck to the graveyard, can set up any of the one-ofs even, like Red Eyes Soul, in the graveyard as well. And then also the 1 copy of Return of the Dragon Lords, more special summon power for our dragon monsters, as well as protection in the graveyard, 1 Monster Reborn, and the 1 Call by the Grave to finish off the spell lineup. For the traps, 2 copies of Red Eyes Spirit, just more ways to grab Red Eyes as well as a search. If we have cards like Red Eyes Fusion, let's say we open up Insight and Fusion already in our hand, you can still activate the Insight, sending the Red Eyes monster to then search out Red Eyes Spirit, setting this card, activating our Red Eyes Fusion, and then having a monster to summon back onto the field thanks to this card also. Also the 2 Red Eyes Fang with Chain as just more of a resource to grab our opponent's cards as well as being a searchable card in the deck. And lastly, the 1 Return of the Red Eyes as a continuous trap with special summon options for our Red Eyes monsters, being able to target that normal monster in the graveyard and special summon it back if we control a Red Eyes monster, and then summoning it back onto the field. We don't even necessarily have to go for Red Eyes. We can grab some of our other normal monsters since they do have a better attack stat also. And then for the extra deck, we're running 2 copies of Red Eyes Slash Dragon, needing Red Eyes Black Dragon, and a Warrior Monster. That's where Gearfried comes in line. Then also having the monsters needed in the graveyard to equip onto it as well, targeting the Warrior Monster, which is Gearfried, to equip onto this card. We can also equip other cards for the additional power boosts, like our Black Metal Dragon, onto it, giving it the protection to then send Black Metal Dragon off of this card as well. The 1 copy of Meteor Black Comet Dragon, needing the level 6 Dragon type monster, means we can just send Red Eyes and the newly added 3 of Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon as the send of cost for this fusion. The Meteor Archfiend Black Skull Dragon, needing a level 6 Archfiend normal monster, where Summon Skull comes into play here, needing for the main deck send, since it counts as a Archfiend monster as well. With its text. And lastly, the 1 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon for Dark Magician and Red Eyes to send to the graveyard. For the Xyz monsters, 1 Flare Metal Dragon along with its burn damage, extra protection since it cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has Xyz material, Dark Arm Dragon of Annihilation. For the destruction power this rank 7 monster has, the 1 Draco Sack, the 1 number 76, and the 1 Big Eye along with the 1 copy of Zeus for all of the different Xyz monsters we run. And also for the Link monsters, 1 copy of IP Masquerena, 1 Dark the Dark Charmer, 1 Heretic Seal, and the 1 Nightmare Unicorn to finish off the extra deck. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, Red Eyes Fusion opens up most of your plays, and this card can be searched off a good majority of cards in the deck as well. So let's just say we open up the setup play, as I said before, with Red Eyes Fusion. You can then have the choice to send what you want off of the play. If you want to go for one of the best Omni-Negate powers, you can send Red Eyes and Dark Magician to the graveyard. This will give you your Dragoon setup as well. You can go for the fusion play using Red Eyes and Black Meteor Dragon to set up our Comet Dragon onto the field, or you can go for the Summon Skull, and that will give you your Archfiend play. It all comes down to what you want to use with each monster as well. You have the burn damage with Meteor Black Comet Dragon and Archfiend Skull. You have the Omni-Negate and Destruction power with Dragoon, and also it comes down to what you want to set up for the additional monsters as well, giving you the graveyard setup of Black Meteor Dragon. Can the following turn be a banish and add off of another card? If you have some other resources in your hand as well, you may want to rely on a more defensive strategy with Slash Dragon, sending your Gearfried monster instead for this play. If you have the Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon in your hand, you can send the normal monster from your deck to the graveyard to special summon this card out onto the field. This will give you a level 7 monster since its level increases. If you have the Noctovision in your hand, you can then summon this card out as well for that summon. And then you either have the rank 7 play if you wanted to go for that summon of your Flare Metal Dragon, or if you wanted to go for a Link play, you can set up that monster in the graveyard as well. But you do have the detach of the Meteor Dragon during the following turn for this card to be set up in the graveyard. So I would say the rank 7 Xyz play is one of your better ones to go into. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, I was very happy with the changes I made to the deck, and I hope you all enjoyed it as well. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.